What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here with a quick review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. I do not feel that I am late. I feel as though I am right on time with this review and recap. By now, certainly you've seen all of the other reviews. I just want to come in with my quick perspective. I won't hold y'all long, okay? Let's see. Now, this is episode 14 of the 12th season, Lions, Tigers, and Shade. I mean, okay. Okay. So the whole episode opens with this whole montage of NeNe and Cynthia's ultimate demise. I mean, I think there was some happy moments during that opening montage. It wasn't until after they semi-pseudo made up officially they played a really happy montage, but they gave us all the turmoil that led up to the fact that they completely fell out. Like, they are not have not been copacetic, not speaking ugly to each other out there on the social media and stuff. So it, Canada was a moment. So I think Cynthia took this opportunity to send a nice gift, some aged wine over to NeNe, and a beautifully written card saying, I don't think we got a chance to talk, or I would love for us to get a chance to talk. You're invited to the Bailey's Cellar. So, that's Cynthia's wine bar. And NeNe, I think she talks about it with Marlo. Marlo comes over, and they also discuss the fact that she's going to have this animal print brunch. It's supposed to be like an annual event, but I don't know. Like, here in Atlanta, if it's a really annual type thing, you would hear a little buzz about it. This was weird. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so she also rehearses with Greg. It was really, really nice to see Greg. It was just really, really brief, but it was still a good opportunity to see him. And I started thinking about, I wonder if Greg would click well with Mike Hill. Like, that's the one thing I miss about the old episodes of Real Housewives of Atlanta, is that we did get to see more of the husbands. I actually kind of enjoyed the husbands' interaction. We don't really get to see a lot of that. You do get to see it with Kenya and Cynthia, I guess Todd too, maybe, but we don't get to see Greg and Todd. I don't know. It's weird. So anyway, that was a good moment. Simultaneously, Cynthia is going over to Kenya's house to talk to her. She wants to have a little word with Kenya about the fact that she feels like she threw her under the bus. At the little lunch and gathering with Eva and Tanya, and where the cookie lady showed up. Now, she wasn't, she was kind of saying, okay, well, you came, you was real razor sharp, Kenya. Just put a pin in that. Let's talk about Little Brooklyn. Little Brooklyn is cute. She growing on me. Yeah, she's growing on me, like, aesthetically, but listen, Brooklyn is going to be Mark for Kenya. I mean, the way she is, very kind of, Brooklyn kind of run her a little bit. Don't allow her to insert herself. Like, don't allow her to get too puffy, get ahead of herself. Like, don't be doing too much of this and then. Don't be, saying, like, take it down a notch. How Marvy doing her. Brooklyn gonna do her the same doggone way. I'm telling you, Brooklyn gonna do her the same doggone way. Brooklyn gonna run her. Okay, I cannot wait till next episode when all the ladies talk about how quiet and submissive Kenya is around Mark. That's because she don't want Mark to embarrass her. And Brooke's gonna be the same way. Y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. But listen, I done got sidetracked. Yeah, so she was going to, Cynthia was trying to tell her, you implied that I brought that girl there to be messy, and I didn't even know, like, it was going to be that. And then, I forget what it was that Kenya said. She didn't know. She didn't know that she didn't know. I don't know. What the flip? But Cynthia was like, okay, well, that's understandable. I was like, what do you mean understandable? What do you mean understandable? Either you did or you did not. How could it have been misconstrued? Like, how they go lightly were you moving that it could have been misconstrued one of several different ways? You brought the girl. Either you don't consider Tanya your friend at all, or you have enough invested in Tanya. But how much do you have invested in the cookie lady? I guess because she a business in the same business center or office park or cluster of shops or whatever. I don't know. It kind of looked a little industrial to me looking at it on the outside when her and NeNe was out there talking. I don't know. But anyway, Tanya, you don't have more invested with Tanya. Tanya took you all the way to Canada. Okay, so I don't know. Cynthia to me moving kind of weird. She moving kind of funny. I believe Kenya exposing her, and I believe she confirming what NeNe has been saying about her. And it to me in these last couple of episodes, Cynthia's character has taken a major hit for me personally. I'm not really feeling how Cynthia is moving. That little interaction she had with NeNe, we about to talk about that. That was fine. That was okay. That was fine. But still, I don't know. Now she do have a man. Girls move real funny when they got a man. They move more independently when they got a man. They don't rely on you as much. Your presence in their life is not as important because they got somebody to feel that. Right? And so, it's just not that important anymore. You're just not that invested anymore. I get that. I really do. I get that. But I'm just saying the way Cynthia is moving is kind of seeming like maybe this was you all along. Like maybe you low-key messy. Like maybe you low-key are disrespectful and shady and dismissive as a chick. Maybe you feeling like a little bit of superiority. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't really view it as viciousness. Like, I don't view it as viciousness or anger. But there's this subtle little way that you do things. I don't know. I'm watching you, Cynthia. I really, really am. Now, I don't want to put a lot on this that you might be kind of flighty a little bit. I don't know. You seem like you might move a little bit shady. It's weird to me. And the fact that you're more concerned about Kenya than you are about Tanya, that's fine because Kenya's supposed to be your good friend. Even though she had to force that out of you and constantly throwing you shade. But you don't feel like you owe Tanya no conversation, like nothing, like nada. No wonder you was dying to get Eva out of there and get her to the hospital because you didn't want to spend no time talking to Tanya. Like, you owe Tanya an explanation, okay? You owe Tanya some conversation about that. Now, let's move forward. So, NeNe and Cynthia meet up and at the Bailey cellar. And Cynthia got some salsa and chips and this very nice wine. I don't know if it's like a Prosecco or if it was more on the rosé side. But anyway, it looked beautiful in the glass. It looked nice and cold, nice and crisp, super tasty looking. And then she served also in the same kind of glass. She served salsa. I was like, salsa is a low scoop action. It's not a high scoop action. You can't scoop salsa from on high. It makes a mess. Like, she's got to get down in the glass. Like, I don't know. It's just the little details. It's little things. If you're going to have food there, you need to have the accoutrements to set up a little small snack area, a little charcuterie tray. Just saying. It is a wine cellar. Okay, so let's move forward. So it's awkward, and Cynthia kind of breaks the ice and NeNe wants to make a toast, and it seems like it's going to be great, and it just takes this turn where Cynthia feels like she was hurt. NeNe doesn't want to really acknowledge that at all. She says, which I can't remember, y'all help me, that Cynthia it started talking about her first. Now, on last season, it seemed like that NeNe was doing all the talking and squawking. Like, it seemed like she was going on and on about that whole Kenya situation. And she was very dismissive at the reunion about the whole Kenya situation. Again, another situation where now I can see why NeNe kind of looks at Cynthia sideways, because it makes that Kenya situation at Cynthia's event where she invited the then pregnant Kenya. This is when the whole Buffalo comment was made about Kenya's child. She was supposed to act like she didn't know, and they called her on the mic whispering to her now fiance Mike. Like, you just look back on it all, and it does seem like Cynthia is moving a little funny to me. Y'all tell me what y'all think, put it down below. But listen, so Cynthia kind of stood her ground. She was like, no, we both said things. Now, I wonder if it's true. If Cynthia started talking out of school first. It didn't seem that way to us. It didn't seem that way on social media. It just seemed like NeNe was just shutting down. I think it's a fatal flaw of NeNe's, because you don't get any resolve. And by the time you do try to resolve it, everything is so hazy. You know what I mean? It's so hazy. To me, if you're a big bad boss, if you're that type of person, you just go and talk to a person and meet it head on. But here we are. So they go back and forth, and evidently the fact that Cynthia said that NeNe was a toxic friend hit NeNe like a ton of bricks. And she goes outside, and she's under the light post, and she's standing there, and admittedly, Cynthia, admits that this is what she does. She storms out. I don't think she stormed out. She meandered out, And Cynthia has to run after her, which is what Cynthia is doing. So, like, what is the point? So, anyway, she get out there and she talked to her, and, she's sniffling and all that. Now, I'm not getting a glisten. Generally, you get a glisten when there is crying. Now, I do think that there was crying, because I noticed that NeNe, the tip of NeNe's nose kind of red and bulbous, like when you've been blowing it a lot. She probably wouldn't let them put that on camera with her blowing her nose and stuff. But I could tell she had been crying. But I wasn't getting a lot of eye glisten. And I don't know if it was from the makeup, because that white mask, that I think it could have been blended down a little bit more. But it was just very apparent she had, anyway. So, but you wasn't getting a lot of glisten. But she seemed like she was really hurt. She was really broken down. Cynthia seemed moved by it. Cynthia ended up apologizing. Now, she apologized what showed to us to be a good 5 to 6 minutes of apology in one direction or another. The more NeNe kind of broke down and tried to explain it, it was award winning. It really, really was. If it was acted, it was well acted. It was. I kind of believe NeNe. I needed a little bit more glisten, but I accept that. But still, I believe NeNe. At the same time, like I said, it felt like 5 to 6 minutes of Cynthia apologizing from one direction or another. And finally, NeNe said, I'm sorry too. And I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt you. Now, it seemed like everything was groovy. They talked about to be on top of the building, and the next day, or whatever, they going to the animal print party. So it's fine. We see Eva and Cynthia going to the animal print party. She go around there to pick Eva up, and Eva is super, super casual. Like, Eva could probably be running to the grocery. You know what I'm saying? Like, the faces always be, the eyelashes are super, super thick and caterpillar-like, but still, she just got on kind of like a colored leopard print top. It looked kind of sweaterish or sweatshirtish almost. Maybe it was velour. I don't know. And some denim shorts. I was like, well, it is brunch. It is brunch. So she get there, and she, they talk a little bit about NeNe and Cynthia meeting up, and then NeNe cried, and Eva's like, oh my gosh, at the same time she popping something in her mouth to eat like she is always eating. So we realized that Eva is having contractions. Now, I really did think it might be Braxton Hicks. Now, I personally have never been pregnant, so I don't know. But I did make a note that she's always eating. Like she is always grazing and grubbing, and maybe that can give you a little gas, a little angina, but and everything trapped in your body like that, it could be possible, right? But she is uncomfortable. She is talking to the crew. She's like, I gotta pee. I gotta get this pressure off of me. I just gotta sit down. It ain't looking good. She sit down at the table. Candy arrived after Cynthia finally get in the building from parking the car. She come in. She realized it's something going on. Cynthia is not really like, excuse me, she's not really like a 911, let's move real fast. Like, she's not that type of person. But Candy arrives, and Candy can see it like immediately in Eva's face. And so she says, did you call Dr. Jackie? Oh, yeah, we do share a doctor. They call Dr. Jackie. Of course, Eva doesn't want to go. Dr. Jackie's like, look, I can give you instructions over the phone how to deliver a baby, and Candy's like, I don't think so. Now by this time Tanya has arrived. Tanya is just, she brings like this level of excitement to the room, because Eva don't want to go, and Eva is crying. Candy and Cynthia just, like, we just need to get this done. Cynthia is offering to take Eva since she brought her there. Tanya is super excited. She's just like, good luck, have fun, you can do this. This is gonna be great. Don't worry. Just good energy, right? They head on off to the hospital. So it's just Tanya and Candy there. Then Kenya arrived. She got on all white dress and a leopard print handbag. Now Eva and not Eva, but of course Cynthia had on something that was animal print, but Candy and Tanya both had animal print accents on their outfits. So she refused to talk to Tanya. She refused to acknowledge Tanya. Like, I was just like, and Cynthia didn't say, aren't you gonna say hello to Tanya? Like, you guys need to talk. Like, you guys need to squash this and at least speak. Not Cynthia, Candy. Like, maybe she didn't know what had happened at the dinner table, or what transpired. But Kenya ended up leaving because NeNe was late and she wasn't going to wait on her. Like, who cares? Goodbye. I don't even think we missed her after that. But I think Tanya tried to tell Kenya a little bit about what was going on. Candy a little bit about what was going on in the Cookie Lady situation. It was a travesty. And everybody's acting like, oh, Kenya read her. She read her for filth. She made herself look bad. She made herself look horrible. And it turns out this whole Candy Lady situation, she's like a ex-con or whatever, I guess. She's got a record from like fraudulent. It could be from a number of things. It could be completely innocent, or it could not be. And given your recent movements, I'm more inclined to believe that it is not completely innocent. Like, you stand, you appear to have a propensity for behaving badly, for being a bad actor. That's all I'm saying. They was asking me on Twitter if I was going to go and get some of her cookies since she right-handed. And I don't want no scandalous, fraudulent cookies. I do not. I can't trust your ethics and your morals with your cooking and stuff and the way you moving out here in these streets. Like, is it really a cookie business? You know what I'm saying? Or you got something else going on? Everybody's talking about how beautiful she is. I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I kind of, I don't know. Anyway, so, yeah, NeNe finally arrives 2.5 hours later, and she kisses everybody, and Candy just lets her know that they're the only two there, given these circumstances. Eve wasn't going to the hospital in labor. Cynthia took her and all of that. And she said, "What do you mean you guys are the only guys here? All my friends are here." And she brings out all of these ladies, and they were just, I don't know. Oh, they was like a singles group. They kind of reminded me a little bit of a singles group. I mean, there was Tanya jumped right in, speaking to everyone and shaking people's hand and, "Hi, I'm Tanya." It's just how she is. NeNe was acting like, "These are my friends, and they come to my event every year, and we support one another, and they're business owners." I was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. But we didn't get to hear any conversation like with Tanya or Candy and the ladies, like what businesses they had and just conversation and cross conversation. We didn't get any of that out of it. Everybody sat down for dinner. Now, this is why I said the event was kind of a last minute, low key, kind of put together type situation. Like it was trying to be an event. It wanted to be an event. It just never really turned out to be a type of event. It was just a bunch of them sitting at a long dinner table at a Mexican restaurant. Like the table wasn't dressed. It wasn't dressed. It wasn't, it wasn't set up like an event. There was no microphone. There was no podium. I mean, it didn't have to be. You know what I'm saying? There was no order to things. People weren't drinking drinks out and food. It was just, I don't know. Maybe that's the part they all cut out. But anyway, they find out why Eva isn't there, why Cynthia isn't there, that Kenya came and left, and who cares? We're glad she just even tried to come after everything they had got going on. Marlo finally arrives, and, okay, she gets there, and she announces that also Portia won't be there because she talked to Portia on the phone earlier during the day, and Portia said she didn't like the way their invitation was put out. Now y'all shade Portia all y'all want to, but Portia continue to be my MVP. We didn't get no dentist this week, but I was cool and copacetic with that because Portia was on her grind. She was on her grown woman style, right? She was the first one to call out that invitation. The invitation was like a play on words, like animal words, like lion, but lying, and that type of thing. And Portia surmised in her own mind that it was going to be some drama, so she didn't think she wanted to be involved. Now, I did think that for some reason I thought that was Portia that NeNe apologized to when they was in Canada, but that was Eva. Portia stood in and stepped in to keep to calm NeNe down, but they still have not had a talk. So Portia don't know what to expect. So when Marlo tells NeNe this, NeNe says, "Well, I don't know what to tell you." Now, Portia is in a confessional and saying that NeNe could have sent her a better invitation, to DM'd her. Now then she remembers she had blocked her. Blocked her. When NeNe tried to reach her, NeNe said she tried to give her an invite and call her, but she don't answer. She don't want to come. She can't make her come. At the same time, Portia pulling up with her sister Lauren, and she come in. She look nice. She look beautiful, and she speaks to NeNe right away, and she hugs Candy, and she sits down, and she also notices, like Candy, that it's a bunch of random people in the room. Where is everybody that we know? Like, what is going on? And she said, "Well, I thought you wasn't coming." Cynthia was. This is what NeNe was saying. Well, like, I'm surprised to see you here. I thought you wasn't coming. She said, "Well, I wasn't gonna come because this, that, and the third." And she said it was like a play on words, and I didn't know what was going on. We haven't had our conversation and everything. Now, Portia is not letting up about this invitation, how she felt like it was low-key shady, and the way she sent it out. It was perfectly normal for her to interpret it to mean that there would possibly be some drama. And she is not letting NeNe taking her foot off NeNe's neck about the stuff she said about her post-pregnancy and pre-pregnancy, pre-delivery, calling her fat and all this other stuff, and just really bullying her on text message or DMs, right? Social media. So I think it was text messages. And so she she was trying to make that clear. NeNe was like, "Well, wait a minute. I just want to tell you that this is a positive event. It's an event I have every year." I was just like, "NeNe, stop saying that. Stop saying that. This event is nothing more than a bunch of y'all meeting at the Papados for brunch on Sunday. Like, it's no different. Like, why are you making it seem like it's this big type thing? Like, it's this big, event. Like, where, girl, good night. Goodbye. Sit down. Anyway, Portia wasn't having any of that, and she was like, but she was there to be cordial. Mama Diane told her to what could it hurt if she sent her invitation. That's why she came, and she told her that. She said, so we will have to have a chance to talk at another time. So that's fine. Portia didn't want to talk in front of all those strange women anyway. So I'm cool with all of that. And the women were so random. Like, they were so random. It was random. And where was Johanna? Okay, but it's annual. Okay, that's all right. We don't have to talk about it. So, anyway, we do find out in the middle of everything that Candy gets up and learns that Eva is dilated 1.5 centimeters. I think she's supposed to be 10 to deliver. Do you think they stopped for a minute and said a word of prayer for Eva, even though she 8 months pregnant and about to give birth? Huh? Do you really think that? No, they did not. They kept right on talking. NeNe kept right on pushing. I was just like, oh, I wonder if it was off camera. It's odd. It was weird. Maybe I'm too spiritual. But I would have said a word of prayer for my sister, because, the way she was talking about it, like, if it's premature, the baby's premature, he had to be in the NICU, which means he won't go home with her, which means he might have some problems. So, I mean, y'all didn't go down there with her. That's fine. She sent Cynthia home. She told Candy because her husband arrived. People want to be with each other and make decisions and talk with one another and bring their family in. So Cynthia went on about her business, but still at the same time, y'all ain't gonna offer a word of prayer for the girl. I don't get it. Like I said, I do not get it. I don't get it. I don't know why Cynthia is not holding Tanya's feelings into consideration. I just don't get any of that at all. I don't know why she wasn't as hard on Kenya as she was on NeNe. Yeah, her and NeNe was longtime friends, but Kenya made you admit that y'all was friends. She made you admit it, and announce me, what I'm saying? Co-sign on me, right? Maybe you didn't have all of that with Tanya, but just common courtesy, just to keep it out of the mean girl vibe, especially if you saying you didn't mean it like that. Like, you might need to explain that to Tanya, why you think Tanya don't deserve that type of respect. To me, I don't know, just says a lot about you. Finding out you invited that girl, even after you heard what the chick said about Paul or whatnot, you still invited that girl. Like, I'm side-eyeing Cynthia. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Put it down below. Okay, that is it for me, you guys. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And until next time, honeybees. Mwah, 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 mwah.